going to go ahead and continue with our Daytona 500, officially our Daytona 5 winner here with William Byron, driver of the number 24 Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports. Obviously, William, a great win to win the Daytona 500, but take us through those last few laps from your perspective, and then just maybe give us an overview of really just what it means to you to now have this race on your resume.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a blur to think about the last few laps, but I just remember the lineup changed right after the red flag. They said we were second, and in my head the whole time I had just preparing for what I was going to choose on the second row, and I felt like everything I'd studied all week was leading me to choose fourth, and so I think that was my plan. And then when they said we were second, kind of regrouped and just thought about, okay, how can I get a good launch here? How can I get connected with the two? And the two, Austin gave me a great push for a lap and a half. Really, we were locked on, and I felt like that was really good. I felt like it was going to be dead even for a couple laps, and then the outside lane got separated for whatever reason, and we got out single file, and it was me, the 2, the 7, I think, and they had a little bit of a run down the backstretch where he could have poked out, kind of covered that, and then I knew off of 4 the energy was going to form again because this package is so draggy as the leader, so you always have you're always on protection mode and trying to figure out, okay, where's the run going to come from? So as soon as I saw the outside lane starting to tighten up and gain some momentum, I felt like that was going to be where I needed to go. And the 1 had a huge run through the little short chute there coming to the tri-oval. So I blocked that, and he cut left, and I felt like, man, that was stupid. I shouldn't have blocked that. He just took the lead, and I guess he wasn't clear. So I was able to, I guess just get past the line, and I didn't really know at that point whether we were the leader or not, but it's just pretty incredible sequence of events. I mean, you just don't know how these races are going to end, and you have to try to put yourself in a good spot. And I felt like our team did a great job all day, just putting ourselves in position, and it's pretty incredible.
All right, we will go up front here, and we'll start with Lee, and then go to Dustin.
Lee Spencer, Sirius NASCAR Radio and CatchFence.com. Kind of curious. You came over the radio and you were like in disbelief. You kept asking, did we win it? Did we win it?
Yeah.
At what point did it really start to sink in?
Well, no one told me. So it was like Rudy was crying on the radio. So I was like, dude, like, I hope he's crying for a good reason. But, I guess he was. He was a ball of emotion there. And so I was still like, did we actually win or not? And then I think Brandon came on the radio and said, that we were first or whatever. So it still hasn't sunk in yet. So I feel like it's just kind of a blur, and I feel like there's just so many things that have to go your way to win a race like this, and it's special. I mean, this is the biggest race, so it's and stuff happens so fast. So it's honestly a chess game that you're just trying to play, and I feel like we were able to come out on top.
And when I saw you earlier, you had like a really light lunch, and I was wondering at what point were you like starving during that race?
Oh, that's me every week. That's why sometimes I fall out of the seat. So I don't eat enough. But I wasn't that nervous today. I felt like you got to get in the rhythm of the race and just start to execute the things that you need to do inside the car. I mean, a lot of the race was saving fuel, and we didn't have track position for first half of the stages, and we'd be behind, and then at the end of the stages we'd charge to the front once we made our pit stop. So it was a really interesting race for that reason, because I felt like I was never at the front consistently, but I would be after the stages and be able to push from there. Mm-hmm.
All right, we'll go Dustin and then Bob.
Dustin Long, NBC Sports. William, Josh Williams was one of the ones who came to Victory Lane and visited with you, congratulated you. He was telling me that when he first saw you run at Concord, he thought, man, that kid's got a lot of work to do. And then he says, look at what he has become.
Yeah.
Can you take me back to when you first started racing and the notion of what those early days were like compared to this path to this moment?
Yeah, I mean, I've always been really raw throughout my career. I have a lot of like undeveloped talent, I guess you could say. So I feel like speed was always easy for me. Like making lap time by myself was always really easy and came natural. But racing around other cars and managing, all those things has been tough. But it's just come over time. I've spent half my racing career in the Cup Series, which is crazy, but it's just the way that my career trajectory kind of went. And I think Mr. H always knew that putting me in the Cup Series would allow me to learn the things I needed to learn. And we've been able to see kind of the evolution of that with my team over the last year and a half. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. I mean, I just think back to the desire I had to compete and race, and that was unmatched, I feel like, from anyone else. Like, I wanted it so bad because I never grew up around it, but it was something that I always loved. And so I think that desire has kind of always fueled me more than anything. I want it for no other reason because it's just my passion.
Obviously, you've told the story many times about trick-or-treating at Jimmy's house, and Jimmy said, he went and reminded you about that when he congratulated you. The idea that at one point you were trick-or-treating at his house, and here he is coming up to congratulate you in Victory Lane for the Daytona 500. What is that like for the 8-year-old kid inside of you?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I mean, I feel like I've always had a bit of imposter syndrome because I race against Jimmy Johnson. I'm like, dude, this guy was my hero. Like, literally watched every Sunday, had his diecast cars in my room, and just dreamed about what it would be like to be in his shoes. And now I get to race against him, and it's a pretty crazy emotion to go through, just getting into the Cup Series, just honestly being happy to be there, and then figuring out, okay, well, what are my goals? What are the things I want to accomplish? And I feel like I've always had a bit of kind of work through fear, like work because of fear. And I feel like that's fueled me because I never want to lose the opportunity to race in the Cup Series and have a shot to win races with the team I'm with.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we'll go to Bob.
Bob
How's
Parker.
business, Bob?
It's booming.
It's booming.
You have two teammates who are Cup champions. One's the most popular driver. The other is somebody who most people say is one of the world's greatest talents. Do you ever feel kind of lost or not and does it?
I'm the other guy.
Yeah, you're the other guy. So does that bother you at all? And how many times do you need to win to not be the other guy?
Yeah, I use it all as fuel. So just keep it coming. All the preseason predictions and everything. But I think it just, for me, I try to stay quietly focused. I feel like for me, I do well, having my own space and being able to work through the things with my race team. And I have to kind of balance that kind of calm demeanor with working with my team and being vocal enough to do the things we need to do to get the car better and things like that. But I don't know. I don't read too much into it. I'm never going to be the most vocal guy. I just enjoy getting in the race car and putting the helmet on and going to work. That's what I've always lived for.
All right, we're going to go to Jordan.
Jordan Bianchi, The Athletic. Rick and Rudy were in here just a minute ago, and they kind of talked about it, and you've mentioned it as well. Why did you have a chip on your shoulder going into this year? Did you feel like people were doubting you, or was that just something you were telling yourself to kind of, push yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'll ever get that chip off my shoulder. I think it's always been there. It's just I'm very quiet about it. But I don't know. There's always reasons to find. I mean, we didn't win the championship, and we don't get talked about the most, and other people get more more publicity, things like that. And I feel like whatever I find, I use as motivation, and it's just the way I've always been internally. I don't express that a lot, but it definitely burns inside, and I feel like that's what fuels your off seasons a lot of times, is just what can I find, what little edge can I find to be the best. And there's still tons to learn. I can be a lot, more complete in the car, and I feel like your racecraft and things are always evolving, and just trying to be a better version inside the car with my team.
Throughout your career, before you got the Cup, you were always kind of considered the can't-miss prospect, right? And you've had success almost instantly every step of the way, trucks, Xfinity. You come to Cup, you had a good, solid Rookie of the Year, and you had success, but you didn't kind of have that major breakthrough year. Was there any part along the journey of kind of wondering if it was going to come, if you were going to have a year like you had last year? For sure. I mean, there's a lot of doubt that creeps in. I feel like it goes back to me wondering if I'm right for this sport, because I came in such a different way, and I feel like there's a lot of things that I didn't learn, like going through go-karts and quarter midgets and all those things. And so I kind of wonder sometimes, or did wonder, like, man, am I doing it right? Do I have all the ingredients it takes? And definitely had to just learn, kind of just grow a little bit thicker skin to be in the Cup Series and learn what it takes each week. And I feel like that took time. That took probably three and a half years to really get to that point. And I think some of the people and relationships I had with Chad, he enforced that. I felt like he kind of brought me to the next level, just seeing how he operated and how he handled things.
All right, Jeff, did you have a question? Okay.
Like the outfit, looks great.
It's the last few hours of this. So many great drivers never win this. I mean, they showed a graphic earlier where like 6 of the active Cup champions right now have not won this race. At age 26, is it a nice thing to just get that? You're not gonna have to answer that in 10 years,
Yeah. I mean, so honestly, that went through my mind I guess after the red flag, rolling the caution laps before we chose. I just thought to myself, man, I know what just happened, like huge wreck, like all those things. I felt bad about that, the push, all those things. And I just had to block that out and then think about, man, this might be my only shot to ever win this race. Like literally, like there's a lot of people that never get a chance to line up on the front row with 2 laps to go. So that, I feel like that motivated me, just the thought of this might be the only time I get this clean of a chance. And I think I might never have a chance to win this race again, honestly. And so I'm going to cherish it for that reason.
All right, I'm going to go up to the press box for a minute. Are there any questions in the press box?
No questions from the press box.
All right, thank you. We'll come back downstairs. We'll go to Zach and then Noah.
Zach Sterniolo, NASCAR.com. William, congratulations.
Thank you.
You're the first on this super talented roster to get the Daytona 500 for Hendrick Motorsports. I mean, Jeff Wednesday was saying that he really wanted one of you guys to win it this weekend to be able to experience the highs of this, right? What has your experience been like over the last 2 hours since the checkered flag waved? Have you been able to really
Dude,
cherish?
It's been 2 hours. I don't know. It feels like a dream. I mean, I haven't really thought about it in a lot of different ways. I mean, being in the playoffs, all those things. But, it's still just kind of setting in. I feel like there's so much work it takes to get to this point, and you just cherish those moments with your team. But you definitely want to be the guy that wins the big races. But any 4 of us could have won this race. Honestly, we're all up there with a shot to win, so it was pretty impressive. Just a lot of emotions. I mean, my favorite part was the confetti, just because that's what I always remember about the 500 is the confetti shower, and that part was really cool. I grew up watching Jimmy, I think in 06 winning the 500, and that's what I remember. Mm-hmm.
All right, we'll go to Noah.
Noah Lewis, TSJ Sports. William, a lot of champions, Daytona 500 champions, after the race, they say that sometimes they have a moment prior to the race or on race day of the 500 where they just feel calm or there's something that kind of sticks out to them, and then they win the Daytona 500 in that day. Was there anything for you today that kind of stuck out to you prior to the race, or was it business as usual?
There's a lot, man. I mean, I mean, I just remember, so my dad, went home. He was feeling really sick, and we had a group text with my mom, and I said back to him, like, don't worry about it. We'll celebrate when we get home. And I mean, I didn't feel nervous before this race. I don't know why, but I just felt like, I don't know. It felt like a good day, but I never thought we were going to win. I mean, I never thought that far ahead. I just thought, man, maybe we'll finish on the lead lap. We've never done that. So it was honestly just starting small and just thinking about the process and the things it takes to win.
And you talk about that never finishing on the lead lap, and I apologize if you already addressed this, but this race specifically, this place has been good too, but this race specifically has not been. So what is it like to just kind of put all that behind you, the DNFs, the crashes, and not finishing on the lead lap?
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, you guys don't have to mention it at media day ever again. So there's a new storyline. Yeah, I've never finished better than 21st, I think, which is crazy. I mean, we've won some drafting track races with, if you put Atlanta in that category, won here. So it's just a matter of getting to the end. I mean, it's just, I knew we had the ingredients and the knowledge to win it. My spotter is amazing, Brandon. I feel like I make the right moves inside the car, the right blocks, but it just, you got to get there. And I've never saw the white flag, so it's nice now.
And what was that conversation like with your dad?
I mean, it was great. I think I'm excited to see him when I get back. It's great to have my mom here. She wasn't at the wins last year, so it's great to have her here and celebrate it with her. And I'll definitely, be able to see my dad and maybe go to Eddie's place in Charlotte and have a little breakfast. That's our tradition, so we'll probably do that. Mm-hmm.
All right, Davey.
Davey Siegel with Sirius XM NASCAR Radio. How many unread texts, phone calls? Have you looked at your phone yet? Do I want to know?
I don't even know. I just want to talk to my buddies at home and see what they're up to. But yeah, we're definitely gonna burn it down. So we'll see how far it goes.
Apparently, your mom has your phone. Do you want to give us an update?
There's probably a lot.
Yeah, I don't know the password.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
That's probably a good thing. Yeah.
Keep it unopened. Hand that to me.
I don't know if Ashley knows it either, but
There's at least 122 right
okay, that's great. Yeah.
Speaking of Victory Lane, you've been in Daytona Victory Lane before, but it was considerably less quiet, less busy, not a lot of people. What was it like to pull into Victory Lane today compared to the last time?
The last time was COVID. I had a mask on, so no one could see my face. But it was weird for sure. That night was weird, but it still felt great. First win, that was really special. My parents were there for that one, and that one was really cool. So yeah, I mean this one feels different for sure, but it's going to take a while to sink in and just enjoy all the different aspects of it.
When everybody was running out on the front stretch grass, who was the first person you saw?
I feel like it's always Patton, my tire carrier. He's kind of he's got the mojo in the team. So it's probably him and then a bunch of other guys. So Landon and Rudy and everybody. Yeah, my celebration was pretty weak too. The grass was wet, so I was just sliding around.
All right, we'll go to Chris right here behind Davey.
Hey, William. Chris Collins, WNDB. First off, congratulations.
Thank you.
And then I wanted to ask, so a minute ago I was talking to Jeff Gordon, and we were talking about how special it was for him to see the number 24 win the Daytona 500 again. And he talked a bit about how, now, this is, you're kind of making the number your own, and that the fans out there are transitioning from, fans who are rooting for Jeff Gordon's number to fans who are rooting for William Byron. That was some stuff that he talked about, and I just wanted to see if I could get your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I mean it's cool. I just try to continue to come out of my shell and be myself around race fans. I mean, it's tough. I never grew up, envisioning that I was going to drive the 24 car. So it definitely, it takes a while to get comfortable with that, but it's just special to have so many fans that followed Jeff all of the years of his career, and yeah, it's cool to meet a lot of cool people that have followed him for years, and
Thanks,
hopefully
William.
us now.
Yeah, thanks, William. Congrats.
All right, we're going to go Seth, Jacob, and then we'll end with Steven. Go ahead.
Seth Egger, KickingTires.net. William, we often hear that this is the Super Bowl of NASCAR and that drivers will give up anything for a 500 win. With your experience, why is that?
I don't know. I mean, I think, honestly, I mean, there's two races in our sport that are the biggest. It's Phoenix and here. And, I feel like this one has its own meaning. It's very intense out there. It takes a lot of things to go your way, but there's a lot of skill involved. And you can't ever underestimate what it takes to win here. So I don't know. It's just it's the biggest race, of the year, and it means a lot.
All right, Jacob.
Jacob Silman, Race Face Digital. Congratulations, William.
Thank you.
Two for you. First, obviously you came up with Rudy, got separated for a bit when you went to Xfinity, but then you guys were able to come back together on the Cup side and have finally kind of meshed again like you did at the beginning. Both of you get your first 500 win tonight. How special is it, not just that you break through here in the 500, but that you get to do it with somebody like Rudy that you've had such a connection with and worked so well with?
Yeah, I feel like the dynamic that between us is we just trust each other, and I feel like that bond builds through tough experiences like Martinsville last year and some of the things we've been through in the past, and being separated for a few years, trying to figure things out and get into the Cup Series, and it's just a special bond that we have, and I feel like he has my back all the time, and I feel like the biggest thing is just working through new challenges. I mean, we're always challenging ourselves to find new things to work on. This year it's the short tracks, and just kind of continuing to strengthen some of the tracks that we've been pretty good at. So I feel like there's always new things to focus on, but I know this one was really special to him. I didn't know this race meant so much to him, but I could tell this week how much it meant, just some of the things he's said over the offseason, and it's definitely important to him.
Little Rockingham, end of 2012, your third Legends Car race, I think, ever. You were probably 14 at the time. I stood there that day watching with your dad, and I looked to him and I said, what do I need to know about this kid? And I'll never forget, he looked at me and goes, he's going to be in Cup someday. Just straight-faced. And to sit here and watch you win this race tonight, I thought back to that memory. I mean, you said earlier you were really quiet even back then. Did you have that kind of confidence as everybody else around you did back then? Would 14-year-old William Byron have believed that a moment like tonight was possible?
Yeah, not at all. I mean, I think I was just living for the next race and just seeing where things would go. And I think for me, it was, the goal and the dream was to be in the Cup Series, but I never thought much about that. I was just trying to win the next race and trying to continue to, refine my craft. And I feel like, it's just, it's crazy. I mean, I didn't grow up envisioning I'd be here, but I grew up, watching idols like Jimmy and just dreaming of what it would be like. Yeah, for sure.
All right, we're going to go Jerry and then Steven. Go ahead, Jerry.
Jerry Jordan, KickingTheTires.net. I don't know if you collect race cars or anything like that. Is this a car that you would want to keep in a collection, or maybe get a custom Lego made of it or something?
Custom Lego would be great. Need to get those guys on board for sure. I think, I'll probably get this diecast for sure. I mean, I haven't collected a lot of diecasts. I did as a kid, but yeah, this one will definitely go up somewhere. It'll be really cool.
Think you can talk Rick out of the car?
What's that?
Think you can talk Rick out of the real car?
Maybe. Getting it? I don't know. It's going to be here for a year, I guess. So we'll see. Yeah, that'd be nice. That's a good idea. Good thinking. I'll work on that.
All right, we can get a mic to Steven, please. Right there.
Stephen Toronto, CBS Sports. William, I guess I'm going to speak for the people here when I congratulate you on becoming the first gamer to ever win the Daytona 500.
Nice. for all the people out there.
Yes, indeed.
Let's do it.
But in all seriousness, though,
on the computer, like Rick Allen says.
Yes, and everyone harps on that, and there's that thing in the Netflix show where it's like, get off the computer. That's become a meme now, but
I haven't seen that one. That's great.
Yeah, the NASCAR official X account just posted it, but in seriousness, with what you've accomplished in your racing career, and especially with what you've accomplished tonight, what do you tell people who are trying to make it into professional stock car racing or auto racing in general through sim racing, or also just anyone trying to make it anywhere through esports or whatever, who get told, you're wasting your time, this is crap, don't bother with this, you're just playing video games? What do you say to that?
Yeah, I mean, no matter what you're into, it's all about what gets you up in the morning. What is it that you absolutely can't go without? And for me, that was racing. I didn't know that I was going to be a race car driver, but getting in through iRacing and, being on there, I mean, I was obsessed. Like, I would go in there every hour of the day, and, I had to balance it with other things. And I felt like, schoolwork and all the other things I'd have to balance, but racing was what always was my passion. And if you find something that you love, you spend every minute of the day thinking about it.
Thanks, William. Appreciate it.
All right, we're going to take one final question here with Matt Weaver.
Matt Weaver, Sportsnot. I don't think you've addressed it yet, but the caution before the last caution where you guys kind of bounced off each other, what do you recall about that moment, that incident?
Yeah. Not a whole lot, just that I hate that it happened. I mean, the 48 and I were working well together on the bottom, and somehow we got shuffled, or we moved to the middle, and we started pushing each other up there. And he was pushing me in that sequence, and the 6 and the 1 were kind of snaking all 3 lanes. And I think just honestly, we got misaligned with our push, and I got sideways and hooked the 6. And I feel really bad about that, because I feel like that was, things were getting really intense with the pushes, and I felt like it was getting to the point where I couldn't handle all the pushes, and you just try to get through those moments. And but yeah, it's just, I can't believe we didn't have more wrecks throughout the race, because we were all pushing each other so hard, and it just takes one kind of misaligned push to especially with, I feel like with our nose, we kind of get off center pretty easily with the shape of it. So it just the nature of it. Mm-hmm.
All right. I think I was able to get to everyone. So, William, thank you very much for spending some time with us. Congratulations again. Enjoy the next couple days. I know you've got some more media to do, so we appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right, y'all have fun.